Namaste, beautiful gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Tyen, and if you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit a notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. Welcome, 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 everyone. I do want to say something, okay? If you are a divine feminine or a divine masculine and whatever I say on my reading do not resonate with you, it does not mean that I am referring to you, okay? This is a general reading. Please take what resonates. And if you find nothing resonates at all, you can look at my description box, and as you are intuitively inclined and guided, you can choose a reading that will best fit you in your particular situation. All right. I have been seeing, well, first and foremost, because I talked to Michael about it, I went into meditation and I was like, what the heck is going on, Michael? Like, why are these divine masculines and divine feminines being triggered? And I got a two-part question, and so I got a two-part answer. First, Michael told me that most of the ones that are being triggered like that are not really twin flames at all. Then those that are, they were triggered because they needed to be triggered in order for them to be aware, so they can have awareness and so they can have clarity about their own situation. But for me not to take it personal, it is what it is. Either way, it's none of my business whether they're twin flames or not. My job is to deliver the message. If you get triggered, that shows where you are on your journey. And that's what Michael said. That made me feel good in my autonomy to know, hey, how other people receive your message and how they take your message, they don't have anything to do with you, Tyen. That's where they are. That's where they choose to be. You don't got to worry about it. It could be sweat off your back, girlfriend. And so therefore, I am going to take the advice of Michael, who is lovingly guiding me through this every step of the way. I forgot to light some incense. I'm going to roll with some jasmine incense. I got an incense cone, and oh my God, this jasmine incense cone. Let me just say, Lord, thank you for the smell of jasmine. Let me go ahead and light her up real quick, and I'll call in some help. I call in air, fire, water, earth, spirit, and ether. And I also call upon the highest of the highest of the high, which is Yod He Vahe, who will be able to give me the information that is necessary for this beautiful reading in all directions, time, and space. And so it is. Beautiful. All right. So this is the Divine Masculine read. Divine Masculine, Divine Masculine. First and foremost, the Divine Masculine that I'm channeling for is really deep into his feelings right now. Really down, really depressed, because he's feeling guilty about breaking away from this connection. This person broke away from you. All right? If this is a Divine Feminine that's watching, I do realize that we have cross watchers, Divine Feminines and Karmics alike. But this is a Divine Masculine read, so I am going to be saying it as I'm feeling it. Whew. This is intense, especially with this Cancer moon, the eclipse that we're in. Oh my God, feelings are at an all-time high. A lot of you are going to be purging some things out of your aura. Some of you going to be like, I didn't even know I felt this way. Where'd that come from? You know? A lot of you are going to be receiving telepathic messages from your Divine Masculine. It's going to be ugly. Let me just say that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be ugly. A lot of you are going to be in your emotions this weekend. The 11th, the 12th, and the 13th is going to be even more intense because we have the crystalline grid that's opening for creativity, for our journey. And I'll be doing another video about that tomorrow. I don't want to get sidetracked. All right, so right now, your divine masculine is in the full energy, okay? New beginnings. Divine masculine, you're being asked to take a leap of faith. I feel like you've been avoiding this path. You've not been listening to your intuition. And so you had to take the long route in your ascension process. I don't think you could have done anything different. Divine feminine could have done anything different. This was meant to happen the way that it happened. Unfortunately, a lot of people got hurt along the way. I'm sorry. But this was the only way, divine feminine, that your divine masculine was going to be able to awaken. I feel like your divine masculine was on the 3D plane pretty heavy. And some divine intervention definitely had to step in. Because your divine masculine or divine masculine, you were ignoring your intuitive nudges. So the divine had to step in, and you had to learn things the hard way. Not that you had to, but you gave no one any room to work with you. You made up your own mind. You did your own thing because you were entitled to do that because you have this thing called free choice. And let's just say that you exercised it very well. How about that? Okay. Now, with this being said, it's time for you to embrace your true purpose. You've been pushed into a situation to where now it's time for you to trust your own intuition, your own feelings, your own emotions, because I feel like you have been kind of like shutting it out and not listening. It's time for you to start trusting in yourself. Stop listening to those on the outside. I feel like a lot of people interfered. There has been a lot of interference, is what your spirit guides have told me. I mean, there were some people that did not want this relationship or this union to work. They were jealous of your union with your divine femme, so they purposely sabotaged it, and you allowed it. They couldn't do what you didn't allow them to do, divine masculine. So it looks like you're learning from the mistakes of the past, but at the same time, it's like you're beating yourself up over it, is the energy that I'm feeling. You're beating yourself up over something that's like spilled milk now. You know what I'm saying? It's like water under the bridge. What can you do about it now? You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. You know, what is done is done. What has happened has already happened. And it's just time for you to move forward with more confidence, because I feel like a lot of you lack confidence. A lot of you are lacking confidence now when it comes to approaching divine femme. You don't feel like you can approach her, because of your own guilt. You feel like she's going to reject you because you guys are perfectly mirroring one another. So you feel like she's going to do the same thing that you done to her to you, and you're not wanting to face that. You're not wanting to face that funk. So a lot of you are holding back on offers. I feel like there's an offer that you want to make, but you can't make because of your ego. And Spirit is telling you to come out of your ego, because your ego is not your amigo. Your ego is what is keeping you further in separation. That is a 3D and a matrix construct. It is time, divine masculine, for you to rise into your higher vibration, so you'll stop repeating these karmic lessons. A lot of you have been repeating the same lesson over and over and over again. The same lessons also that you've had with divine femme that you have not learned from. You have been repeating these vicious cycles over and over and over again in your karmic relationships. If you are in a relationship and you feel like you're stuck, that is a karmic relationship. You will not feel like you're stuck in a soulmate relationship. I'm not saying that a soulmate relationship is like the end all to be all. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that 90% of you divine masculines are in karmic relationships. You're not, it may feel like a soulmate because you manifested this, and that's the reason why it may feel like it's destined and it's something that's sent from above. But no, in all actuality, it is something that is getting in the way of your union, your divine union, your divine purpose. And so now it's time for you to cut that out. This is the reason why you have the Ace of Winters. The Ace of Winter is also known as the Ace of Swords. All right. It says, don't be deterred by challenges along the way. Okay. Your karmic relationship was a challenge along the way. A lot of you ventured off, and a lot of you left divine feminine for a third party. And that third party, karmic, not saying that the karmic is all bad, you guys. I'm not on that gang or that bandwagon to bash karmics. I'm not, because remember, they have a soul contract with you too. You all three agreed for this soul contract. But what I am saying is that the karmic has done their role and played their role very well, because they have done a good job of interfering with this divine partnership and divine feminine. You have allowed it. And some of you divine feminists will be like, well, how did I allow it? You allowed it because, first and foremost, these karmic relationships or a third-party contract is a soul contract between you, divine masculine, and this person. The reason why we allow these karmic relationships to manifest themselves is because there's something within us that needs to be healed, and then the third party is the one that helps to bring those feelings and those wounds and those traumas from many lifetimes up to the surface for healing, whether that's insecurity, whether that's codependency, whatever the case. So when you rise above that and you raise your vibration high enough, there's no need for the third party, for your divine masculine, nor for you, right? So we all are players in this. We all have our active roles. And I just want to tell you guys, listen, I'm really getting very frustrated at people being combative with me. I'm just going to start blocking your ass, because you don't have to agree with me. But just because you don't agree with me does not mean that what I'm speaking is not truth. The twin flame journey is one of the most hardest, complex, tumultuous journeys, and it's the most complicated to figure out. If you thought that you were that smarter than me, then why are you here? You're here for a reason. So sit down and be humble. Okay? In my Kendrick Lamar voice, seriously, sit your ass down and be humble, because you would not be on my channel if you had all the answers. So respect me and I will respect you. I'm not even going to respond to anyone else that steps sideways or says something out the side of their neck to me anymore, because I am above that. I'm in a higher vibration. I replied to something last night and Michael was like, for what, Tyann? You know where they're vibrating at. To respond to people that are not on your level is like talking to a brick wall. It's pointless, because they will never understand or overstand you. They're arguing with the intent to argue, not to understand or understand. Okay. So with that being said, divine masculine, going back to the reading, I know that you have been wanting to communicate with your divine counterpart, and it is important that you communicate and that you're being very clear and that you're being very accurate about what you truly are feeling deep down inside, because a lot of what hasn't been said needs to be said. Okay? Stop trying to play it safe with your connection with your divine femme, but yet and still you pour your heart out to the karmic. It's not going to help you. Okay? You can pull your heart out to the karmic all you want. Your karmic cannot heal you. Only your divine feminine can really heal you on a soul level and on a physical level as well. Okay? So it will be in your best interest if you just basically open up and implement a new perspective and a new way of going about your connection with divine femme. I feel like a lot of you have cut out your karmic connections, because the Ace of Swords, you guys, is not only about new beginnings, but it's about cutting out things from your life that no longer serve you. And it's now time for you, Divine Masculine, to trust your new ideals that you have at this time, that you've been inspired. You are worthy of this relationship. You are worthy of your time and your energy. Don't just be giving it away to pointless endeavors and pointless relationships. Okay? Stop second guessing and stop doubting yourself, because I really feel like that's another reason why the Ace of Swords is here, is because it's time for you to stop doubting yourself, and it's time for you to start having confidence in your own insights, in your own intuition. Listen to your inner voice. This is your God positioning system, your guidance system. Okay? And when you are speaking, make sure that you're speaking your truth. And that'll help you to avoid confusion, and be very careful not to come across as being condescending or cutthroat. This is what your angels and your guides told me. Be very careful. Weigh and season your words very carefully. Don't say to Divine Feminine something that you do not want to be regurgitated and repeated back to you. Okay? Stop doing a tit for tat is what I'm hearing. I feel like the Divine Masculine that I'm channeling for, this is for the collective. A lot of you have been doing a tit for tat. Like if Divine Feminine say something and it wounds your ego, then you'll come back and you'll say something that's very hurtful. It may even be untrue, but you'll say it just to hurt her so she can feel the way that you feel. Let that go. That's ego. That's 3D, and it's not serving your union. If anything, it's pulling you guys further apart, and the whole purpose is for you to come together. That is the whole purpose, is to have union within so you can have union without. Okay? You have the Three of Summer. The Three of Summer is like the Three of Cups. You're wanting to manifest this. You're wanting to celebrate. You're wanting to give Divine Feminine a wedding, or you may want to get Divine Feminine pregnant. You may want to break out that perfect proposal on February the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. There are so many things that you have that you want to do that you've been keeping deep down inside because, once again, of ego. It is time for you to take that leap of faith and stop being scared, because it's either now or never. Time waits for no one. Okay? Do it while she is still available. You know, I told you guys that I watched a clip from Steve Harvey. One thing that Marjorie said when Steve basically put her in a compromising position where he was talking to another woman while she was asleep on a couch, and he said that next thing he knew, 3 o'clock in the morning, she was getting all her bags. She was going out the door, and she looked at Steve, and Steve was like, "Where are you going?" And she was like, "I'm going home." And he was like, "Why?" She was like, "Apparently you're not ready for me. But when you are, come and find me if I'm available." You guys, that's what it's all about. It's about setting those boundaries and putting yourself first. It was totally disrespectful for him to talk to another woman while his other woman was there. Okay, his main woman was there. So again, you guys, this is about setting boundaries, and this is for the Divine Feminine. It's about you setting boundaries and knowing your worth as well. Divine Masculine has overstepped his boundaries in so many ways, and this is the reason why a lot of the Divine Masculines are not stepping forward, because they feel regret, they feel shame, they feel guilty. They're humans just like us. There's no difference between you and your Divine Masculine and yourself when it comes to your feelings and emotions. Matter of fact, you guys mirror the same feelings and emotions, right? If you are hurt about something that Divine Masculine did, I can almost guarantee you that your Divine Masculine is even double hurt and feels even more worse than what you feel right now. You may not believe me. It's okay. I have, no reason to lie. But just because they're not voicing this to you doesn't mean that it's not true. You have the Ace of Spring. All right, so this is like the Ace of Wands. I feel like there's going to be some fast action, fast communication coming in. And it's going to be here soon. You're going to approach Divine Feminine, and you're going to be very fearless about your pursuit. Very charismatic. Divine Masculine really treasures Divine Feminine right now. divine masculine is really appreciating this type of connection because he has never had a connection like this. And he knows he will never have a connection like he has with divine feminine. It doesn't exist. He knows that no one will love him like divine feminine loves him. Okay? And no one will love divine feminine the way that divine masculine loves divine femme. The feelings are mutual, and the love that they share is rare. This is not an ordinary love. This love is extraordinary. It's beyond time and space. It's timeless. Okay? It's affinity times affinity. And their love, it goes on and on and on. And you guys find each other in each lifetime. Okay? But this lifetime is the one that matters the most, you guys. And so now, divine masculine, it's time for you to continue to go after what's in your heart. Because what is in your heart is what is true. Anything else on the outside is just an illusion. All right? So we have the 8 of Summer, which is the 8 of Cups. This is about cutting out things that are in your life, like turning your back on this particular situation. You're connected to a particular situation or person right now. You may not be in a relationship, or you could be, because this is a general reading. For some of you, you could still be connected to the karmic, but you're desiring to be with your divine counterpart. Because you feel like the desire to be with your divine counterpart brings more meaning to your life than to be in a meaningless relationship. A lot of you have been realizing that it's time for you to move on yourselves. A lot of you have been in this relationship and you've stood, it's like you paid your time and kind. Whatever it was that you entered the relationship for, whether it was for sex, whether it was for money, whether it was for, you know, just to be comfortable. All of you have your different reasons, but whatever reason you went into this relationship for, that relationship dynamic has played out, and it's time for you to choose. It's time for you to choose to move forward. And yes, this is going to be life-changing, you guys. This is going to be life-altering. This is not easy, divine masculine. I completely comprehend that. But just because something is not going to be easy doesn't mean for you not to make a choice. Because not to make a choice is to make a choice. And if you continue to stay, you're going to keep having these played out scenarios. You're going to keep on having these tired moments. You're going to keep on having these things show up in your life that are very distasteful and unpleasurable. Your lot in life is not going to be a desirable one because you're not on the right path. And this is the reason why the 8 of Cups is showing up. When the 8 of Cups shows up, it means that you have to abort your current lifestyle, which you've created. I realize this. You created this lifestyle. Whether you created it out of being comfortable and being affluent, having more money, yada, yada, yada. I don't know why you did it. But whatever the reason is, it doesn't matter. Because right now, God said that he wants you to be on a, Mother, Father, God wants you to be on a spiritual journey and not a material journey. Because all your material needs are going to be met anyway if you put God first. Seek first the kingdom, and all these other things will be added unto you. You need to seek your kingdom. You need to be the king in your kingdom, because there's only a queendomship and not a kingship. You and your divine feminine have an empower, is what your angels and your guides are telling me. You have an empower that needs to continue to be built. You have a legacy. Some of you have children with your divine counterpart. You have a legacy. You have to break generational curses. You have to make sure that your children are not subjected to the same BS that you were subjected to. You have to come back. You have to get it right. You have no choice. I mean, you do, but morally, do you? Ethically, do you? And before God, if you were to stand before God's throne, do you? really have a choice in front of God to continue to do what's wrong in the sight of God? Let's take divine feminine out of it, because this is a spiritual journey. Divine feminine is just a small fraction of this journey. Your journey is to do what is right in God's sight, not in front of men, because we're not man pleasers, we're God pleasers. And to do what is right in front of God's sight is to do what's right morally and ethically. Right? To come out of the illusion, because that's what the Seven of Summer is, okay? That's the Seven of Cups, dreamy. All right? Stop procrastinating. Stop. Wake up. The dream is over. Stop dreaming. No more procrastinating, Divine Masculine. Your power comes from making a decision now. Confusion and all those doubts, they may arise from time to time, but stop over analyzing your options. You already know what you need to do. It's time for you to make the right choice. It's time for you to make those major changes in your life that you've been trying to sidestep. You've been trying to avoid. Your angels and your guides are telling me that you've been trying to avoid making this decision. You knew a long time ago that you had to make this decision, but you allowed for your ego to get in the way. And you allowed for yourself to be ruled by your ego. Instead of taking up possession over your own mind, you allowed for your mind to lead you. The Apostle Paul said that he pummeled his body as a slave. For when he wanted to do what is right, bad was in front of him all the time. But then he said he pummeled his body as a slave and made his body a slave to what he wanted. Not the other way around. He didn't allow for his mind and his body to lead him to do whatever it wanted to do. He took up possession of his own mind and his own body and stood in his autonomy and his sovereignty as sovereign being. And that is what Divine Masculine is needing to do at this time, is to take up full possession of your own body and your own mind and stand in your autonomy and pummel your body as a slave, pummel your mind as a slave. So that way you can tap into the God qualities within you and do what is right in this particular situation. It's not like Divine Masculines are not transforming. The transformation I feel for this Divine Masculine is what is going to bring this union back together. And this is the reason why we have the Ace of Wands, which is the Ace of Spring. This is what is going to catapult you into that. Because you, Divine Masculine, you are in manifestation energy right now. In the 8 of Spring, you're manifesting this. I feel like a lot of Divine Masculines have too many things going on at one time right now. You're stressing over these things because you're allowing this to distract you. Okay? Keep your eyes on the prize. Do not take your eyes off of why you are here. These other things are meant to distract you because these things come as tests. But if you're successful, you are going to manifest. You are going to hit that goal. Because if not, I really feel like divine intervention is going to come in and step in anyway and just basically put you where you need to be through course correction. You're going to be on the right path. Whether you put yourself there or if you're forced to be put there, it's going to happen. Why not allow it to happen willingly? Right? Now, you have the Six of Autumn. I really feel like there's going to be a really good even exchange before you and your counterpart. All right? Good is going to come back to you. I feel like a lot of you have gotten in debt, and there's some debt that you need to pay off before you come back to Divine Feminine. And there's going to be an unexpected influx of money. And I'm going to tell you that this money that's coming in is not for you to live off of and party with. It's for you to settle your debt and for you to travel back to Divine Feminine. You are to use this money to settle your debt and come back to Divine Feminine. This money is for your journey. This money is being provided from the higher realms, from your ancestors and your angels and your guides from the higher realms, so you can be able to have a foundation when you come back. So you can be able to have that money that you need in order for you to make the journey back home. Now let's go and see what is on Divine's masculine's mind from the higher realms, from his higher self. Let's tap into this energy. My positive energy leaves powerful impression to the world. Okay, so Divine masculines are starting to be a lot more powerful and positive, because that positivity has given them the power to make the decisions that they need to make, instead of being pessimistic and being in their head and ego. I begin my day with love. Okay, so Divine masculine is now waking up to the vibration and the feeling and the being of love. I feel like a lot of Divine masculines were resisting it, but because of this transformation, it brought about a change. It brought about a change in his mind and his heart. And so he's feeling more of self-love for self, which is a good thing. And Divine masculine, this is a good energy to be in. When in doubt, I choose to see peace. Okay, so Divine masculine has been doubting this connection. Not because he hasn't had enough epiphanies, synchronicities, and aha moments. No, because of his own hang-ups, his own imperfections. Because when he falters, that's when Divine masculine starts to doubt the connection. But when he is moving in the right direction and he's moving towards Divine feminine, that's when he keeps on getting from his angels those angel numbers and angel signs, and he keeps seeing his spirit totems and his spirit animals communicating with him, and he starts having dreams of him and Divine feminine being together on the astral planes, and he just starts to speak to her telepathically, and they have the best conversation in 5D and above. So he's getting all of this that's happening, but when he stops doing his work, that is when Divine masculine truly indeed starts to doubt himself and doubt the connection. My answer to that, Divine masculine, is don't stop doing the work. Continue to do it, because you know as long as you're doing the work, you're going to continue to get the support that you need from the universe. Okay? Because everything in the universe, human beings and even spiritual beings, are conspiring for this relationship to come into fruition and for this connection to come back together for reunification. So that's it. That's the answer. Don't stop doing your work, because you at this point have done so much work, you can't afford to turn back now. I release my need to be perfect, and I center into my commitment to serve the world more love. Okay, so first of all, you got to love yourself. And loving yourself is loving others. Love yourself enough to stay committed to your cause. Know that you may falter along the way, but that doesn't give you an excuse to stay down. The universe admires a person that has tenacity. And Divine masculine, it's time for you to be very tenacious in this matter. And stop using your imperfections as a crutch to deviate away from your path. Because that's what it's all about. It's about your path. And your path, it leads back to Divine feminine. When you don't know what to do, it says stillness is the key to success. Be still. Go into meditation. Meditate over it. Because we always get the right answers when we quiet our mind. Okay? So I'm feeling a need for meditation for you, Divine masculine, so you can be able to come into your center, so you can remain grounded, and we make our best decisions from this standpoint. Sometimes no is the most loving response. Don't be pulled into nobody else's storms. Don't be letting the karmic come up with some stupid cockanamie bullcrap in order for her to reel, or him to reel you back in. Politely say no with no explanation of why. You don't always need to give an explanation of why you say no. No is no. No within itself is a sentence. Seriously. And a very short one. Because if you start overanalyzing, then you'll start talking yourself out of why you said no, and you'll eventually give in. Okay? The key to getting what I want is to ask for it. Now, this is a very key factor, and the energy of what I'm feeling with this is that you want to be in a relationship back with Divine Feminine. Ask. It's time for you to take action. You have the energy of the Ace of Wands right here. You have 2 wands, okay? You have the Ace of Winter, which is the Ace of Swords, and you have the Ace of Wands. You have 2 wands. So the new beginning is inanimate. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. It's inevitable. There's nothing that anybody can do to stop it. This is divine prophecy. This is divine fulfillment, and you're part of all of that. So be privileged, be grateful, be thankful, because this is something that is not given to everyone. Okay? You're very unique. You're very special. Rise to your cause. Okay? This is your rhyme and reasons of being. You came forward and incarnated to be divine masculine. So be divine masculine. You can't be anything other than what you are. You can try to deviate, but it's still going to be something that's going to lead you right back to this path. You can't avoid it. Okay? It's destiny. It's fate. It's the thing that people don't believe in, but just because they don't believe in it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You can say you don't believe in air because you can't see it. But we all know we benefit from it because that's the only reason that we all are alive, right? Okay. Releasing anger from the past sets me free in the present. So a lot of you are disappointed still with Divine Femme. But in all reality, can I tell you that your anger has nothing to do with Divine Femme? And a lot of you already know that. A lot of you have been hurt from previous lovers in your past lifetime. And I'm speaking about in this lifetime. And in previous lifetimes too. But a lot of you have been hurt by those that are in the here and the now. In this incarnation. And a lot of you have taken that out on Divine Femme. Because it's like, before I get hurt, I'm going to hurt her. Before I give her a chance to do me like that, I'm going to do her like that. Like one-upmanship. That's not love. So now it's time for you to release the anger and the past setbacks so you can free yourself and also free your divine counterpart from something that they have absolutely nothing to do with. Okay? And your last card is, there is always a solution of the highest good. A lot of you thought that this was over. Matter of fact, you knew it. You just knew that the relationship between you and your divine counterpart, it was finito. Okay? It was a wrap. That you felt like you done the ultimate. Or that that person, your divine counterpart, may have done the ultimate. Take what resonates. And there is no way that you can forgive this person for what they've done. Or there's no way that this person can forgive you for what you've done. Well, guess what? God knows best. And Source said, this is not happening. There is not going to be an ending. If anything, there's going to be a beautiful, new, fresh start, fresh chapter, clean slate for both of you to start writing a new chapter with. And I have come to the conclusion of your beautiful reading. Congratulations. Union is on the way for you and your divine counterpart. Divine masculine, you are doing the work. It's just time for you to just clear your path. Take that leap of faith. Because both of you deserve this love. You know it. You know there is no one like Divine Feminine. All right. It is a good karma to like, share, comment. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Or you can leave a love donation if you feel inclined to. You can also purchase a gift from my wish list on Amazon, and it will appear on the channel. I now wrap you in my love, and I cloak you with the light of Christ consciousness. There will not be an extended, but you can do a one question answer if you feel inclined to do so. Namaste.